Hello, everybody. My name is Finally Mercedes, and I am currently taking class EDF3115 due to the fact that I want to become a special educational teacher. But I am looking forward to doing a set of stairs for myself. Not maybe a lot of people won't understand it, but I know what I want and I know why I'm doing it. So I want to first become a regular teacher in order to become a special educational teacher, because my goal is to become an RBT specialist. And as I'm becoming an RBT specialist, I want to go ahead and I want to look into being an analysis. I believe that's what it's called, which is like the person that makes the scheduling for the people that work in RBT. And the reason I've been looking into becoming a teacher and working with kids with special needs is because the reason I've been looking forward to being a teacher is because ever since I was a young girl, I've always been a teacher's favorite. I've always been a teacher's assistant. I was a TA when I was in middle school, when I was in high school. When I was in middle school, I was also a principal's aide. I would help out in the library, and I was always involved with everything teacher. I would grade papers. I actually got my teachers, the teacher that I had in middle school, his name was Mr. Darius, and he told me I was his TA. When he first told me about being his TA, I didn't know what TA meant, and when he explained to me what TA was, I was like, this makes perfect sense, because ever since I was a young girl, I was always like, oh, teacher, what do you need? Oh, teacher, can I help you? Oh, is there anything I can do for you? Oh, this, all that. When I was in middle school, I would be just like that. So then they asked me if I was interested in becoming a TA, and I told them, yeah. Me and Mr. Darius had a great bond, because I was able to show him my trust, and he was able to leave me alone in the classroom grading papers and putting them on the grade book for him. I have never experienced or looked at a teacher's grade book before till this moment, and I feel like ever since I was younger and I would always follow a teacher's footsteps, I could go to my elementary, my middle, or my high. I would go to all my schools, and my teachers were still, hi, oh my God, and they would always find a way to talk to me and how you are, and how you've been, and if you need a job, and if you need to do this, and if you need to do that, I have you. So I love kids. For me, that's something that's super important. I love kids, and I've actually worked in private, elementary schools. I've done community service hours. I've been teacher's assistants. I've been a floater. I have a past. And a fun fact about myself is that when I was in middle school, I had a high GPA throughout the whole school year when I was a sixth grader, I believe. And I actually got really high test results, and everything ended up I was like, wow, they gave me a golden apple, that said success or succeed or something like that. And I was recognized in school for actually having the whole school year having a high GPA. And then they asked me when I was a seventh grader, when I became a TA, they had asked me, besides that if since I got a high test result that I didn't have to go to class. So if there was something that I wanted to do with my extra period, they said, oh, do you want to shadow and help out in a class with kids with special needs, or do you want to learn sign language? And I decided to teach and help with special needs kids, and that's where my love started. So I was saying, that's where my love started. I would go to the class during my free period, and at first I would sit and observe, because, they don't know me. They're not used to me. And I was a student just like them, wearing a uniform just like them. And they actually got to respect me. They got to understand me. I would watch them, and then when I would see that some of them had questions and they didn't know, and, oh, can you explain? I would tell the teacher, I'll be like, if you want to continue explaining the lesson, I'll take time and I'll sit with him or I'll sit with her and I'll help them. And helping them understand was something that brought so much joy to me. It was like my calling. And then after being a grown-up, I was doing community service hours in a school, in a little school daycare. And I was with both types of kids, regular and special needs. And I would take the time of day to help them all the time if I needed to. And I won't lie, I feel like okay, the teacher can explain, but when you see another student explaining it to you, or explaining it to them the way that they understand it, they're like, oh, okay. So the teacher makes it long and, explains everything, and she goes through it and she does the whole thing. I would understand it because I would have a shortcut. So what I would do is that I would tell her, I'll show her, like, oh, hey, is it like this, like this, like this, like this, like this? And she'll be like, yes. And I'll be like, okay. So now you watch me, and I'll go ahead and do it. Or I'll go ahead and explain it. So I was always like that when I was a younger girl. So that's something that actually helped me. I would listen to the whole lesson, ask questions, find a shortcut. And that's how I was able to teach and show other kids an easier, faster way of understanding that wasn't going through the whole process, but they still had to understand the whole process. And believe it or not, being special or not being special, these kids sometimes are nervous to ask any questions they have, because even the teachers say, there's no dumb questions. You guys can go ahead and ask anything that you need. That's what we're here for. Some of them still feel some type of way and don't want to ask. So they prefer to ask a classmate before they ask anybody else. So the fact that I was in this class helping these kids out and actually helping the teacher out and being a part of that class, they were able to ask me things about the assignment that they couldn't, or they were too shy and just didn't want to ask the professor, didn't want to ask the teacher. So I would be like, you can ask me anything. It's okay. I won't judge you. Because they still think that deep down teachers will judge. I would always give them that, like, oh, I won't judge you. And going through this in my past, being young, made me realize, I think this is my calling and this is exactly what I want. And that's why I'm currently in this class. I know my video was a little longer than the expected time, but I just wanted to go through my background to help you guys understand why I'm here. That's the reason why I'm in this class. And I'm looking forward to continue, because besides the fact of understanding, being there, and loving this, because I love this, I need to know the background of it. And I need to know what to expect. And I need to know to understand more things. So, since I'm currently looking at my future, this is what I'm seeing. I need to know more the behind the scenes. And this is the reason why I'm in this class. And I can't wait to continue to learn and continue to proceed and grow as a person into knowing more about what is expected of my future. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.